Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Strawberry Vinegar on Nintendo Switch. I think we might get to the end of one of the scenarios. I mean, I did technically get to one of the ends. I yawn, blinking as the sunlight streams in through my bedroom window. My flimsy curtains attempt to resist the onslaught of holy light, but their best efforts are in vain. I sit up in bed and stretch. I don't think I'll be able to go back to sleep now, so I might as well get up. As they say, there's no rest for the wicked. Not that I think I'm particularly wicked. Wouldn't that apply to Alicia more than me? Unsurprisingly, Alicia is still fast asleep. Her hair spills across her pillow, tangled up in her horns, and her pale eyelashes are tightly shut. She's snuggled up underneath her futon, and I can see her covers rising and falling with each breath of air she takes. Okay, hold on. Alicia. She doesn't respond. She doesn't even stir. Alicia. I try again, my voice a little louder this time, but it still has no effect. Alicia continues to sleep, squirreled away inside her dreams. She looks so peaceful lying there, her face free of tension. Not that I've ever seen her look particularly tense, but I feel guilty for trying to wake her. Of course she's sleepy. She was sick a couple days ago, and she woke up early yesterday to go on our school trip. To cap things off, she isn't a human girl at all, but a demon, so spending time in the human realm, as she terms it, must be tiring. While I've been going on about my daily routine, only slightly disturbed by Alicia's presence, every single thing that Alicia has seen, smelt, touched, or tasted these past 6 days must have been new for her. Visiting a whole new world would be a lot for anyone to take in, especially a small girl like her. But I should at least try to wake her. Alicia loves food, and she'd probably get mad if I let her miss breakfast. More importantly, this is her last day here. She'll be going home this evening, and I might never see her again. I want to spend as much time with her as possible, even if that time does eat into her beauty sleep. She can rest as much as she likes when she returns to the warm, sulphurous embrace of hell, and all its eternal flickering flames. Alicia, wake up! Wake up! She winces, but doesn't open her eyes. Is she trying to ignore me? If that's the case, then I won't hold back. Let's see how well she can ignore this. Alicia, if you don't wake up right now, I'll eat all of your breakfast, and there won't be any left for you. No, my food! Not my food! That's right, your food. I'll eat all of it, right in front of you. Just imagine it. All that fluffy white rice with a bowl of salty miso soup and delicious pickled plums. No, anything but that. Anything. Sorry, but you had your chance. I'm eating it right now, Alicia. I'm dipping my chopstick into your bowl of miso soup and picking out the biggest block of tofu. It looks so good and soft, I can't control myself anymore. I'm going to put it in my mouth right now and... No! Give me back my tofu, you monster! I'll kill you! I'll really kill you! I follow her backwards, holding one hand to my mouth. My lower lip throbs and something sharp spreads across my tongue. Is that blood? Did she just punch me in the mouth? At least that's one way to start my morning. I'm sorry, Rie. I didn't mean to hit you like that. It's alright. Don't worry about it. Dad fished a bag of frozen peas out of the freezer and held it against my split lip, so the swelling has mostly gone down. The blood has stopped too. We'll probably need to wash Alicia's futon, though. I bled more than I thought I did, and the futon was splattered with so much gore it looked like somebody had been murdered on those sheets. I think I've learned something valuable today. Demons are not only incredibly fast, they're also incredibly strong. But I hurt you. I made you bleed. I didn't mean to do it, I swear. I know you didn't. I shouldn't have teased you. I just didn't realize you were so strong. Alicia's lower lip wobbles. She stares at me, her eyes large and doe-like. I'm really sorry, Rie. Is there anything I could do to make it up for you? Anything at all? I already said I'm fine. Just eat your breakfast. It'll go cold. But I can't. I still have to apologize. You already have done. I need to do it properly. You really don't. I know. I just had a great idea. Is it a great idea, though? It really is. I'll be back in a second. I think I could feel a headache coming on. You young girls are always so energetic. If I didn't have such an ominous feeling curdling in the pit of my stomach, I'd ask my mother what she's doing in the kitchen at this hour instead of getting ready to go to work. I guess it doesn't matter that much. Maybe she has the day off. It seems unlikely from what little I know about that director Sato, but it could happen, as strange things have. Things like a demon girl called Licia Diva Ilvis appearing in my kitchen and turning my whole world upside down. Less than 5 seconds later, Licia appears in the kitchen wearing that cute maid dress Dad made her. And what are you doing in that? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to act as your personal maid for the day. That's the only way I can show you how truly sorry I am. Now, is there anything I can get for you, milady? You can start by not calling me milady. But why not? As your maid, it is my duty to address you in a respectful manner, suited for your station, milady. Please don't do that. It's making me feel weird. Oh, do you feel sick, milady? Licia walked towards me, her skirts fluttering around her legs, and presses one hand against my forehead. Ah! I feel my temperature skyrocket. My whole body trembles. My cheeks feel like they're burning. You do feel rather hot. Maybe you should go back to bed, my lady. If I'm feeling hot, that's because of you, you idiot. Huh? What was that, milady? Yes, what was that, Rie? What you said just now was rather interesting. If you feel sick, maybe you should take some cold medicine, milady. Dad, are you trying to tease me too? What? No, I would never dream of it, milady. You are. You're trying to make me look stupid. I'm not trying to make you look stupid. Honestly, I guess I just got caught up in the flow of things. Licia frowns, fiddling with the hem of her skirt. I'm sorry if I made you mad, Rie. I was just trying to cheer you up. I press one hand against my chest and lean back in my chair. I need to gather my composure. Imagine a cool, tranquil oasis. Breathe in, then breathe out. Breathe in, then breathe out. Licia didn't mean to upset me. She was just trying to cheer me up, with her own odd, incomprehensible Licia logic. This isn't anything for me to scold her for. I guess I feel a little jumpier around her than usual, given my musings last night. I told her that I loved her. Is that really true? With my feelings exposed to the harsh morning light, I'm not sure. I don't entirely understand what love is, but I think I was sincere when I confessed to her. It's how I felt at the time, and it's how I feel now. If I didn't love Licia, why else would my stomach be twisting into knots at the sight of her face? I sigh, brushing a strand of hair out of my face. I'm all right. I'm not mad at you. I'm just a bit surprised, that's all. So you don't mind if I act as your maid, do you? Well, I'm not sure about that, but Licia looks so hopeful I'd feel mean if I shot her down. Didn't Licia say her mom liked dressing up in silly outfits? It must run in her family. What do the rest of her sisters look like? Sure, if you want to, you can be my maid. Just for the morning, okay? I don't want her calling me milady when we go outside. That would be problematic. I'd never be able to live it down. Yay, thank you, milady. You can rely on me. Let's hope so. Now then, milady, would you care for some assistance? Open your mouth and say, ah. Are you trying to feed me now? Of course. What maid could do more for her most beloved lady? I don't know if maids usually feed their masters. Well, this maid is going above and beyond her line of duty. I just want my lady to feel well cared for. But why? Isn't that obvious? It's because I love you, silly. Now say, ah. Hey, that isn't fair. How on earth can I counter something like that? Why did you want to take us out here, Mom? Oh, no particular reason. I just thought since it's such a nice day, it would be a shame to waste it inside. Mom's right about that. The sun washes over me, warming the top of my head and the tip of my nose until it flushes deep pink. Dragonflies and butterflies flutter in the air, splashes of color against the light blue sky. The trees sway gently, rocked to and fro by the breeze, and their leaves rustle. This is the same old river I walk past when I have to go to school, but it looks different today. Maybe it's because I'm with my mother. I hardly ever get to spend time with her, so just being by her side makes the familiar and everyday seem new and exciting. Special somehow. I glance at Licia. She's staring out at the water, her lips pursed, her blonde hair framing her face. She could almost be a painted figure, if not for the fluttering of her hair. This might be the last time I ever look at this river with Licia. Something inside my chest twists. I wince. Thinking about that is painful. I need to say something else. Anything else, but what? Even though it's such a nice day, I noticed you didn't invite Dad out on our walk. Of course I didn't. Your father needs to clean everything away after breakfast. I can't abide living in a messy house. But Dad was the one who made the breakfast in the first place. Shouldn't you help him a little bit? Tisk tisk, Rie. You might be a smart girl, but you have a lot to learn about adult relationships. People in this world can be split firmly into two categories, sadists and masochists. For any relationship to work, each person must fall onto a different side of the spectrum. I don't know if bringing up the sod into the politics of romantic relationships is a very good idea. I've never read any of his books, but from what little I've gathered about him during my 9 years, he wasn't exactly the most romantic of people. Are you saying Dad's a masochist? That's right. Your father loves being bossed around. It brings him joy and gives him purpose. Without my constant demands, he would float around like a jellyfish, swept along by the tide. Well, there might be a bit of truth to that. I'm kind of confused. Rie looks grumpy all the time, so she should be a sadist, but then she blushes and stammers when she gets embarrassed, too. Then maybe Rie is a rare mix of both. Such a thing might be inevitable, given that she's the daughter of an extreme sadist and a massive masochist. I'm neither of those things. Don't be so ridiculous. You can't just group people into categories like that. Really? But you belong to so many cute categories already, Rie. Your blood type is B, your star sign is Virgo, and you can still buy children's tickets at the train. The last one doesn't have anything to do with my personality, and blood groups and star signs are stupid. They don't have any bearing at all on what you're like as a person. Only your actions should decide that. Let's agree to disagree for now. Mom giggles, pushing her glasses up on the bridge of her nose. Mom always wears dark sunglasses when she goes outside. She says it's to hide her identity so people won't realize she's the semi-famous actress, Shirakawa Yukine. But I wonder, the sunglasses she wears are huge, and they always draw more attention to her, not less. That's probably what she wants, though. Mom's such a showy person. By the way, Lisette, do you want to see where I've been filming? Oh, yes, that sounds cool. Where is it? It might be a bit hard to see with all these trees, but if you peer all the way over the other side of the riverbank, you should be able to spot it. Mom points, and Lisha follows her fingertip with her eyes. She gets onto the tips of her toes, clutching the metal barrier that separates the bank from the river with both hands and stares. What is it? Where is it? Do you see that big gray building over there? That's the hospital, and that's where I've been the last few days. Ah, I think I can see it. That's cool. That's really cool. I know, right? My mother might be many things, but humble is not one of them. I enjoy working, but Mom sighs. I'm tired of whiling my days away inside that glorified mausoleum. The patients look like they're knocking on death's door, and the staff is so serious. There aren't even any attractive doctors. Isn't that what TV dramas are for? I suppose so. We're selling teenage girls and lonely housewives alike fantasies about attractive doctors, as reality is sadly incapable of providing them for us. If any doctors around here were as good looking as Yamada, I'd bet more women would be coming down with colds and headaches. Hey, are you sure you should be swooning over other men like that? Especially a popular actor like Yamada, who's beloved by everyone, old and young. All the girls in my class love him. I might be the only one who doesn't. I don't even think he's that good looking. Are you chastising me, Rie? Not really. I just think it's sad. You shouldn't talk about other men when you have Dad. Oh, don't be so serious, dear. I'm just joking. You are? I can never tell with Mom. Yes, Yamada might be physically appealing, but he's quite dull in real life. When he doesn't have a script to read from, all he ever does is talk about his tennis, or his car, or the benefits of drinking vegetable juice every morning. It's strange how there are so many talented actors in this world who could bring their viewers to tears within a few lines, but when they drop all pretense and act only as themselves, they become incredibly tiresome. Maybe that's because people have high expectations of them, so the mediocrity of their real lives is disappointing. Well, that might have something to do with it. It doesn't change the fact that Yamada bores me to tears. And if he didn't? Well, let's see. Even if I did find his conversation intellectually stimulating, which I don't, I still wouldn't be interested. I'm busy enough as it is without trying to have an affair on the side. Ah, that's good. I don't like thinking about such things, but I can't deny that I've wondered, once or twice, whether Mom might be cheating on Dad. I mean, why wouldn't she? Mom is beautiful, and a lot of men like her, and she's constantly surrounded by attractive actors. She works with some of the most sought-after men in our prefecture on a daily basis. Kazuki and I might be rather different, but I really do love him. We've been together for almost 17 years now, and I wouldn't want to trade the time we spent together for the world. I might be a popular actress now, but Kazuki fell in love with me before all of that. We were in high school when we started dating, you know. Of course I know. Mom's told me the story a few times before. When she's in her more sentimental moods, i.e. when she's had too much to drink at a wrap-up party and has come home smelling of expensive champagne. Lisa, however, isn't privy to these details about my family like I am. She looks at Mom with wide eyes, excited. Really? You've known each other for that long? Yes, it was during our 3rd year of high school. So, senior year. Japanese high school is only 3 years. We lived in the same neighborhood and walked the same way to and from school, but he was too nervous to talk to me. Even though Kazuki has always been tall, he was so shy, even back then. Perhaps he was even shyer since his height made him stand out so much. The PE teachers thought he might be good at basketball, which was a complete joke. He flinched every time the ball came near him. He got teased quite a lot. Maybe that's why he was so shy. It took him a while. It took him a whole 3 years before he finally plucked up the courage to ask me out. I'd never really paid much attention to Kazuki before. I knew of him since we were in the same class, and I saw him on my way to school, but I never approached him. I was all surrounded by all my girlfriends, you see. All I did was have lots of girlfriends back then, and I was too busy gossiping to pay attention to anyone else. I never knew the whole time a boy I'd hardly spoken to had managed to fall in love with me. Then, in my 3rd year at school, I got a part in a play with the drama club. It was Carmen, and I was picked to play the lead. I was happy about that, but it meant I had to stay behind at school a lot to practice. On this particular day, I was walking back home alone. It was the beginning of spring, and the cherry blossoms were blooming all across the riverbank. It's sad that they don't have as many blossoms here. That's one of the things I miss about Onomichi, even though it's a rather small town. The trees were swaying in the breeze, and the sky was a perfect blue. It was almost like something from a movie. That was when I saw Kazuki. I knew him only vaguely, but this was the first time we'd been alone together, and I was a little curious. Isn't it strange? You can be aware of another person for years, but still not know anything about them. People drift in and out of our lives all the time, just like those cherry blossoms, and we may never know how they feel about us because we never stop to ask. I think that's why I decided to approach Kazuki. I wanted to do something impulsive, something I hadn't done before, so I called him over and introduced myself. He seemed surprised. He was so lost in his own thoughts that he hadn't noticed me, and he jumped like a startled kitten. Then, when he saw who I was, his face went bright red, and he started apologizing. For what, I wonder? Being alive? Breathing my air? I thought it was funny that such a tall guy was so very flustered by a small girl like me, so I started to laugh. That might have relaxed him because he smiled, and the two of us began to walk back home together. I asked Kazuki what he'd been doing, staying behind at school so late. He said he'd been trying to do his maths homework in the library, but it was too difficult, and he still didn't understand it. He looked a bit tearful about it, actually. He really hasn't changed at all since then. I said since we were in the same class, I could help him if he wanted. I was a good student, and I liked helping other people. Maybe it's because I liked feeling superior. I'd never offered to tutor a boy before, though. I spent most of my time helping my female friends, so it was new, and it felt exciting. Maybe it was because of the cherry blossoms. When you see cherry blossoms, they inspire you to take chances. At least they do for me. Kazuki and I became friends after that, and we almost walked to and from school together. I introduced him to my friends, and they seemed to like him. Maybe that's because they were scared of me. They must have known if they teased Kazuki, I'd find a way to take my revenge. Maybe they whispered things about us behind our backs, but I didn't care. I never have done. I think I never have. All I knew was I liked spending more time with him, even though we weren't very alike. He always made me laugh, though I doubt it was intentional. Teasing him was fun, too. I liked to ask him to rate the girls in our class in order of attractiveness, or I'd ask him where he kept his dirty magazines, and he'd always blush and stutter. Sometimes I even picked up the falling cherry blossoms and threatened them in his hair. I thought that made him look exceptionally cute, but he disagreed. He never told me to stop, though. Maybe I didn't want anybody else to bully him because I bullied him well enough, myself. Fortunately, my petty cruelty didn't make his feelings towards me waver. I might not have been the girl he'd hoped I was when he first saw me, but now we really were friends and we were close than he had ever dreamed he would be. After a few weeks of our tentative friendship, he confessed his feelings to me, just like that. I never thought such a bold move would have been possible for a shy person like Kazuki, so I was impressed and flattered. I don't know why I agreed to go out with him. I'd been out with a few boys before, but I never took it very seriously. I didn't even like Kazuki that much. We were just friends. I'd never considered that we could be something more. I think, if I'm being honest, I accepted because I was bored and I thought having a new boyfriend might be fun. I was toying about his heart, and I didn't intend to keep it for very long. And then I ended up falling in love with him too. Maybe it was because he was so earnest. Boy, sorry. Maybe because he was so gentle. Maybe it was because he was so sweet. Maybe it's because of the cherry blossoms and I was young and he was my first proper boyfriend. I don't know. But I don't regret meeting Kazuki, and I don't regret our relationship. He really is a good man, more than I might deserve, since I'm not always very nice to him. I really do love him. Even if he's an idiot, he's my idiot. Mom's tone softens when she talks about Dad. She sounds unusually vulnerable, unguarded, despite those dark sunglasses. I can't see her eyes, but I can see her lips. They're curved upwards and into a small smile. Ever since then, Kazuki has supported me through thick and thin. He always puts his own dreams to one side to support mine. He never tries to dissuade me from accomplishing my goals. I suppose he's like a trellis, maybe. A trellis? Yes, trellises support climbing plants, but they don't have a use on their own. Kazuki's the same. I think he's happiest when he's helping me pursue my goals. I appreciate it, but I worry sometimes. I don't know if he thinks about himself as much as he should. That's why he's been so down lately. His love and affection make me happy, but I don't know if it's making him happy. I know he stays at home to take care of the chores, and he likes being there to greet you when you return home from school, but I think he's a little more ambitious than he claims to be. He has his own dreams, and I'm worried mine may have choked his. Maybe I should have a talk with him. I don't want him to tire himself out. I love him too much for that. Sometimes I doubt Mom's feelings for Dad, but in crime moments like this, I'm able to gauge how she really feels. Mom does love Dad. She must. It's obvious in the way she talks about him. I hope when I get older, I can love somebody just as much as Mom and Dad love each other. That really would be something to strive for. My parents have a lot of differences, but they're able to put those aside, or they're able to put those to one side so they can help one another. They can support one another because they love one another. I know it might be a little cliche to say this, but that really is something special. Lisha, too, looks pensive. She taps Mom's arm, peering up at her with her imploring eyes. Miss Yukine? Miss Yukine, I have a question. Yes, what is it, sweetie? I was just wondering. You sound really smart, so I think you should know. How do you know when you've found somebody that you're in love with? Oh my, you young girls sure grow up fast nowadays to ask questions like that. I'm serious. I really want to know. This could be important. This isn't related to our conversation yesterday, is it? Well, love is a very complicated thing. We humans aren't all that intelligent, and we're bad at perceiving things with too many surfaces. We have a difficult time understanding our own feelings, so we often second-guess ourselves or get things wrong. We might think we love somebody when it's just a passing infatuation, or we might tell ourselves our feelings are fleeting and foolish when they're rather more serious than that. Even so, I believe when one is in love, one should know it instinctively, in here. Mom places a hand against her chest, just above her heart. Even if our minds try to play tricks on us, you just have to be honest with yourself. So that's what love is, huh? It sounds kind of complicated. It is complicated. It gets easier to understand our feelings when we get older. I see. So, if love is about wanting to be with somebody all the time, and feeling happy when you're with them, then I really must be in love with Rie after all. I love her more than anybody in the whole wide world. Wow, what is this place? Is this some kind of place? A palace devoted to the pagan worship of food? How funny. This isn't a palace, Lucia. It's just a restaurant. Restaurant? You don't have restaurants in Norway? Maybe we do, but I've never seen one before. How peculiar. Then let me enlighten you. Restaurants are where people go to buy food, rather than making it themselves. Oh, I see. But how are these unlimited stocks of food produced? You humans don't have access to Hell's patented magic circle technology, do you? Magic circles? Yes, they're very convenient. Wow, Norway sure sounds like an advanced country. Oh, come on. Are we still trying to pretend like Lisha comes from Norway when the stuff she says is so obviously bizarre? I don't know why Mom and Dad decided to play along with the charade, but it's really starting to get on my nerves. You can spin a single joke out for so long, only for so long. At any rate, they don't summon the food. They cook it for us in the kitchen. You just can't see it from here because they close that area off. Oh, it sounds so similar to convenience store food. I suppose, but it's a bit fresher than that. You order the food and they make it for you. I see. If it's handmade, then I suppose it's alright. The levels of love should be adequate. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but most of the food here is packed in plastic bags and stored in the freezer. All they do is defrost it. Love is irrelevant in the face of the economy. Huh? Is that really true? Alrighty, don't be so mean to Licia. You'll spoil it for her. Mom chastises me, peering out over the top of her dark sunglasses. I don't know why Mom always wears those shades when we go out. Who does she think is going to recognize her here? The lovey-dovey couple sharing an ice cream sundae over by the window, the little girl trying to shove her chopstick up her nose, to the embarrassment of her parents, the baby sitting in a high chair trying to kick its own elbows. Since we always used to take you here, Rie, Kazuki and I thought it might be nice to treat Licia too. It's something of a family tradition after all. I know. Though I'm being rather negative about this restaurant, I don't dislike it. It's a nostalgic landmark from my childhood. A place where I whiled away many an hour while I was younger, happier and decidedly less cynical. I've had several birthdays in here, and Dad used to take me here sometimes after our trips to the aquarium. He always brought me my favorite, the strawberry sundae, even though it was so big I could never finish it by myself. It's been a couple of years since I came here, but the decor hasn't changed. It looks exactly the same as ever, from the pseudo-wooden tabletops to the beige walls. Even the menus are exactly the same. I flip through my menu looking for the dessert, and find with no great surprise that the strawberry sundae of my youth is still on here, in all its ice cream-laden strawberry-top glory. Are you looking for that strawberry sundae, Rie? No, of course not. I know you always like that sundae, but shouldn't you take a look at the dinner menu before you start thinking about sweets? You'll get indigestion if you eat dessert first. I know that. I'm not a little kid. Jeez. I flip back to the dinner section trying to hide my blush behind my menu. I don't like being teased, but it's especially galling being teased by somebody like Dad. I'm kind of happy about that, though. I'm glad you still remember those strawberry sundaes. You must have enjoyed the time we spent together back then. It was fine. I was young back then, so I would have been happy with anything. Alright, if you feel like reliving your earlier years with the taste of that strawberry sundae, though, don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to order it for you. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not interested in that stupid sundae at all. My tastes have matured a lot since then, and I don't like sweets nearly as much as I used to. You're so cute when you can't be honest with yourself, Rie. If you want to order the sundae, just say so. There's nothing wrong with indulging yourself. I want to try the sundae too. I love sweets. See, Licia sounds excited as well. Licia's always excited when food is involved. That may be true, but I'm not just excited about the food. I want to see you smile a lot, Rie, just like Kazuki said you used to. Seeing you with a big smile would be the fondest memory I could ever hope for. Fonder than any kind of food. I look down at the table, my face turning bright red. Why does it feel like everybody's ganging up on me? Anyway, I'm going to order my main. We need to hurry, or we'll annoy the waiting staff. You might be right about that. Efficiency is next to godliness, or so they say. I think that's cleanliness is next to godliness. Maybe so, but to have to clean and tidy home, one must be efficient. Efficiency is what truly is important in this world. Sure is easy for Mom to say, given she never does any household chores. If Dad weren't such a doormat, he'd probably call her out on that. Of course he doesn't. He just smiles. So what are you two going to have? Since this is your last day here, Licia, feel free to get as much as you want. Really? I can have whatever I want? I can hear the sound of our family savings screaming in pain from here. You know what, Dad? As generous as an offer that is, I think you might want to retract it, lest you live to regret it. Huh? There's nothing wrong with letting Licia pick a few more dishes, is there? You say that now, but you'll be sorry. She'll eat her way through the entire restaurant, and then we'll have to sell our house to pay for the losses, and then the Yakuza will come after us, and we'll have to harvest your organs and sell them on the black market. Ugh, Rie, that's so horrible. You're meant to be 9 years old, but you're talking like a hardened criminal. I'm sorry, but the world is a cruel place. We can't maintain our innocence if we want to survive. But I have no problem selling my organs to support you and Yuki, but why do you want to kill me off so quickly? You didn't even try to think of any other options. I'm sorry, Dad, but the strong must prey on the weak to survive. You were never meant to last. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want to be eaten, but I don't want to eat others either. And that's precisely why your organs will be harvested and stolen, not mine. On second thoughts, maybe you should restrict yourself to only one meal, Licia. But there's so much good food here. I want to eat all of it. Yes, but if you ate all of it, it might put our family's finances in a rather precarious situation. But if you're low on money, can't you just sacrifice a chicken on an altar to Mammon so he can bless you with wealth and riches? I don't know how the economy works in Norway, but in Japan, there's no altars to any demons of greed. That's a shame. It sounds like you humans really do have it hard. Alicia sighs, scanning through her menu with less enthusiasm than before. I don't really understand, but if it would inconvenience you, I'll order only one dish. But what? Alicia ponders, holding one finger against her lower lip. Ah, I know. You're a clever person, Rie, and you've been here before, so you must know what's the tastiest, cheapest item on the menu. I think I'll order what you get. Well, I wonder what I should get. This is the last meal she'll be having with us, so I don't want to pick something Alicia doesn't like. Oh, yeah, you really can't go wrong with either of these options. I think, I mean, like the omelet rice is very well-loved traditional, comfort food. I don't know if they consider like the hamburger steak the more luxurious option. Let's go with the omelet rice. And omelet rice is actually really hard to make. At least the way the Japanese make it. Oh, it's so cute. Thank you. Alicia accepts her plate of food from our waitress with a wide smile, her whole face shining with anticipation. Oh, it's all right. I'm just doing my job, so you don't need to thank me. But it looks so good. I'm so happy. Oh, well, I'm glad. The waitress brushes a few strands of her black hair behind her ear, an awkward smile on her face. That smile, strained though it is, seems like nothing short of a miracle. Prior to her interaction with Alicia, the waitress was sulking around the restaurant with narrowed eyes as though cursing all the customers inside her head simply for existing. The fact that our waitress has rather long dark hair, which looks oddly wet under the lights of the restaurant, doesn't help matters. She really does look like a character from a horror movie, minus the plain white dress. The smile suits her, however. It makes her look rather less sinister, more like the teenage girl she is, rather than the malign monster doomed to rot inside a well she initially resembled. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask me. I hope you enjoy your meal. I even gave her name Sadako, that's hilarious. And with a bow of her head, she makes her hasty retreat. Mom watches our waitress as she walks away, a small smile on her face. She seemed like a sweet girl, didn't she, dear? I suppose so. To be honest, I thought she was a little intimidating. That's not necessarily a bad thing. She might have some potential. Potential? Indeed. If Sato needs another dying woman waif for his hospital drama, that girl would be a perfect fit. She didn't look as though she had long left to live, did she? Don't tell her that, Yuki. You'll hurt her feelings. What if she's anemic? That's even better. Fragile girls are very popular at the moment. I thought your hospital drama already had a dying teenage girl in it. Indeed it does, but you can never have too many dying teenagers. Sometimes, Yuki, you say the most troubling things. Turn my attention away from my parents' conversation. Focus instead on the plate of omelet rice set before me. The omelet is a beautiful bright yellow, perfectly cooked, folded over to hide the rice within. The red tomato ketchup covers the surface of the omelet in a zigzag pattern, right, but not garishly so, which only makes the omelet seem more appetizing. The omelet is accompanied by some vegetables, a few pieces of broccoli, and several cherry tomatoes with glossy red skins. There aren't that many vegetables, but the combination of colors, the yellow omelet, the green broccoli, the red tomatoes, creates a visually interesting experience. I don't know if Alicia cares a great deal about the visuals of her meal, though. Thank you for the food. She's already digging into the soft skin of the omelet, exposing the rice within. The rice is white and fluffy, flavored with ketchup, and contains tiny bits of chicken. Is it good? It's delicious. Thank you for choosing this, Rie. It's not a problem. I mean, I like omelet rice. Who doesn't like omelet rice? It's such a simple meal, yet it's so filling, and there's something about splitting apart the omelet to reveal the rice within that's incredibly satisfying. You try yours too, Rie. You try it. Well, I was going to. Steam rises from the omelet when I press the blade of my knife against it, and the sweet aroma of cooked rice and ketchup drifts through the air. The flavor, smell, and texture are all nostalgic, and it awakens me with memories of going to this restaurant with Dad in the past, when I was only small. The omelet is soft, but it's warm enough to burn the tip of my tongue. The chicken rice is sweet. The omelet is savory, but the two distinctively different flavors work together well, given how similarly their textures are alike. The ketchup gives my first mouthful of food a certain kick, and the artificiality of the bright red tomatoes. Tomato sauce complements the subtler flavors of the egg and rice. And combined with the fresh, crunchy heads of broccoli and the cherry tomatoes, this simple dish becomes something truly special. I feel almost as though I'm reliving my childhood, yet, unlike those peaceful days, I don't spill any rice down my lap, and I don't need Dad to wipe my cheeks with a napkin after my first mouthful of food. I might have grown older, but this omelet rice is exactly the same as always. That was really good. Thank you for choosing something so delicious, Rie. Really? I wasn't sure if you'd like it. The food here is pretty cheap. It might be cheap, but since you're the one who picked it for me, it was filled with love. Is that how love works? Yep, you don't need to make something by hand for love to be in it. Choosing something to make somebody else happy is another act of love. For a demon, you seem to care about love a lot. Of course I do. I might be from hell, but I'm not so different from you. I also like to be loved and appreciated. And we do love and appreciate you. You're adorable, Alicia. Yes, I really am glad you came to live with us. Rie should tell us about her cute pen pal friends more often. I was starting to worry that she didn't have any friends at all. Well, you don't need to worry about that now. I'm going to be Rie's friend forever, no matter what. Even if I can't be with her all the time, I'll still exist inside her heart. The fond memories we've made together can never fade. With all the corny lines. I sink down into my seat. It's not like I'm happy about those sentiments, but having them exposed so clearly is embarrassing. So, do you want to order the strawberry sundae, Rie? I never said I wanted to order it. You're jumping to conclusions. But it was the very first thing you looked at when you picked up the menu. You don't need to be bashful. There's nothing wrong with liking sweets. I'm not bashful. Well, I want to try that sundae even if you don't. It sounds really delicious. And because I'm such a kind person, I'll let you share some of it too, Rie, even if you don't want it. How does that sound? Nicely done, Alicia. Rie can't refuse now. If you're going to get the sundae for yourself, then it's not like I'll stop you or anything. Jeez. But it's not like I wanted it or anything. Oh, it's so cute. I hope you enjoy it. We will. Thank you, miss. You're the best. The waitress flushes, coiling a strand of dark hair around one pale finger. With that complexion, coupled with her inky black hair, she really does look like a villain from a horror movie. I hope you enjoy your food. Our waitress turns about on her heels and walks back to the kitchen. I take this as an opportunity to examine my strawberry sundae. The glass is filled with vanilla ice cream and cut strawberries topped with generous amounts of cream. A single strawberry, plump and bursting with life, is set atop the mound of sweet cream. 2 silver spoons are set on the table, glinting under the lighting of the restaurant. This whole setup really does remind me of lovers. I can imagine a young man and woman sharing the dessert, sneaking shy glances at one another between mouthfuls of ice cream, or maybe nudging one another's feet underneath the table. I duck my head, my hands clasped together in my lap. I can feel my face turning red, just like the strawberry on top of my sundae. Are you all right, Rie? I squirm. I'm fine. Are you sure? You're not sick, are you? Did you get premature brain freeze? Is that a real thing? Of course, if men can get premature baldness, I'm sure girls can premature brain freeze. I'm not sure about that. I'm fine. I'm not sick at all. You don't need to fuss. Then you should start eating your ice cream. It'll melt if you leave it for too long. That's right. You can't let that happen. Here, Rie, eat this now. I don't need you to feed me. I'm perfectly capable of feeding myself. But I wanted to try it. Why? Bishop pauses, pondering, and presses her finger against her cheek. Well, I'm not sure. It's something that happens a lot in those romance mangas my mother likes. Oh, I know what you mean. I like stories like that too. You do? Well, they're cute. Innocent romance stories are so heartwarming. Is that because your romance with me was the exact opposite of innocent, dear? Dad's face turns light pink. He coughs, glances to the right in a suspiciously coy manner. Well, you've always been rather forceful. I don't want to know. I have no interest at all. But we used to share food like that as well, didn't we? Oh, yes. I might have fed you once or twice, even though you always went, yeah, that's embarrassing, not in public. Dad's nervous laughter makes my skin crawl. I shake my head. Why do these two always have to talk like that? They're terrible. You'd think they were young teens lost in the thrall of their first love, not grown adults who've been living together for more than a decade. See, Rie? Your parents agree. It's a very cute and romantic gesture. Okay, why don't we stop it there? Boy, the ending's taking longer than I thought. This is audap, watching Strawberry Vinegar on Nintendo Switch. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.